Okay, I'm Kylie Hodges here at the Can I Kick It show at Westside Comedy Theater, and I had a hoot. You guys were hysterical.
Thank you. As long as you had a hoot, that's what's up, you know?
Okay, so can you walk me through the conception of this show?
Sure, it's just, this kind of just came out of an idea. It's just like, I'll tell you, this sounds crazy, but I was in a diner one time in New York, and I heard these two girls in the booth behind me, and they were talking, and they said, we just came from a concert, and we saw Jimmy Fallon's band. And they were talking about the Roots, who is like one of the most incredible hip-hop bands that's ever lived. And I was like, I mean, they've probably done 15 world tours, and but to them, all they know them as is the guys behind the Roots. So I was like, we have to start talking about this music that's just like, just sitting there, and it's like, it needs to be unearthed. All the people that you love, they did this first. So I had to figure out a funny way to present that to people. So I came up with this idea. I called Tone. There's another one of our members is not here, Joe DeRosa. We brought in Rob. Tone knew Josh, Tone knew Mark. They're all Dallas boys, and from there it just all came together. We brought in Natalie, and here we are. Full shows.
It was a fantastic show. You guys really know your stuff. I was thoroughly impressed. I'm not saying I know a lot about hip hop, but you guys knew the ins and outs of everything you talked about tonight.
Right.
Would you all say you're like real big old school hip hop fans?
I'm a huge fan. I don't know about you guys, but I love it.
I wouldn't say that I'm like that knowledgeable, but like when you start reminiscing about where you were and times and dates, you're like, oh man, like I remember that influencing me for where I am now. And it's like we kind of learn from each other. Like, oh, that was popular when you were 14. Like, because we're all different ages too, and from different regions. So like, it gets to be a nice talking point for all of us to like kind of come together.
And how did this particular group of guys come together to make this show?
Well, we're all stand-up comics, so we all write, and we all, I think we all had the funny part down, and we just needed a concept and a vehicle to kind of drive that humor. So the old school part of that kind of came in, but we all do stand-up. You can find us on the stage anywhere in the country, any night of the week.
Okay, question for you guys: what makes a person hip hop?
Wow, what a great question.
Answer without saying black.
I need some advice because I wouldn't categorize myself as hip hop. So what's one thing that I could take away to make myself a little more hip hop?
If I were like a rapper, if I were like a hip hop artist, like it would be like from the heart. You'd be like from the heart. You know what I mean? Like it has to live in here. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the cliche thing you want to say. But I mean, I guess it's just like lifestyle, like your appreciation for it. I think it's the appreciation for it.
Right. I don't think it's a particular form of dress or the way you walk or the way you talk. I mean, my mom is a black woman from Cleveland, Ohio. Like she'll listen to her old school R&B, but my mom, I'll turn her car on. She listen to the Outlaw Country channel on Sirius. And that doesn't necessarily make her country, but it's like there's something in those songs that speak to her too. So if there's something in a hip hop song that speaks to you, then you are hip hop, and no matter what it is.
For me, it's I start every sentence with "yo," like my yo.
Or you can just do that. You can just do that.
Yo, so check it. I'm pretty hip hop. Yo.
Hey, Rob, could you quit spinning on your elbow and stand up again?
Yeah.
If you guys could meet one old school hip hop artist, like a legend, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, I mean, it's funny because we talked about him today, but for me, it's definitely Big Daddy Kane. Without me even thinking about it, I just love his style, and he kind of introduced like smooth, like almost like soulful, like sensuous rap. Dare I say, like being sexy, like being a sexy man. Like I remember being like, I want girls to look at me like that, to be like, I just kind of like suave, and I kind of always. So he had a big influence on me in like the way I try to dress and act.
Okay, would you guys define yourself as East Coast or West Coast? If you were in the feuds, would you take a side?
Oh, picking sides. I don't know. The good thing is I'm like right in the middle, so I'm like the Midwestern guy that's breaking the fight up in the bar. Like, all right, guys, be cool. We could all walk out of here. Like so.
You're playing Switzerland right now. You're being very neutral.
I really defend the Midwest and the South. Like I like Southern hip hop and stuff like that. But if I had to pick a side, it would probably be East Coast, just because that was my first. That was the first influence I had. Was like there really wasn't a West Coast scene until a couple of years later. So the East Coast got me first. So I have to pick the East Coast.
I just want to say Biggie over Tupac. Biggie Smalls better than Tupac.
I don't know if I believe this or not, because there are 4 cardinal directions. If I had to pick 2, I'd probably go with Pac. I'd probably go with Pac for the All Eyes on Me album. Like that was like
Definitely.
Like it was such a like voice your opinion Like even though there's sketchy things about his upbringing, I'd have to go Pac. I do like, and people who love Pac kind of secretly love Biggie too. You know what I mean? Like they like you respect them. You know what I mean? But like, I would go Pac. I would go Pac. I would go West.
Is ridiculous for Pac over Biggie. Like
Yeah,
Biggie got like
absolutely.
2 albums and Pac just recorded for like 9 days straight out of jail.
Absolutely,
It's just
absolutely.
like
And everything they're saying is true and totally right, but I just want to say for the record, Biggie Smalls is better than Tupac.
You see what you start?
Last question. What is one reason why people should come see the show?
I don't know if there's one reason, but it's the most unique show that you're going to see. It combines you learning and laughing, and I know it sounds corny, like a PBS show. You're going to learn your vowels. But no, it's like...
And the PBS is interesting.
Yeah, it really is. But it's a chance to like hear music, see...
He's the writer.
It's a chance to hear and see music that you've never heard of that's right there, and you got guys that are kind of guide the ship, and it's hilarious. So you can't go wrong.
Well, I mean, I think too, like there's one thing that's cool with living out here is like people come to the show. When you get back in your cars, if you turn on like 93.5 or something, it's old school hip hop, you could hear the entire song of what like, and then you're like, oh, I just heard about this. You can identify with where we were and like where were you at that time. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like a nostalgic trip back with dudes you just saw this from.
Can you do more local radio for a national interview? All right. All right, thank you.
You guys were hilarious. Everybody go see the show. When is your next show?
We're going to do our next show. It will be at the Meltdown on Sunset Strip, July 26th, which is Saturday night. Come out. We'll have the whole team will be together, and we're going to blow it out that night.
Fantastic. Well, looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much.